Some journeys begin with a single chair, and nothing is ever the same again.
Episode 13. The Absence of a Look. When Noah walked into the room this time, the hurried steps from the last session were gone. Her pace was still slow, but this was a deliberate slowness, measured, as though she was weighing the sound of each step, the direction of every glance in the room. She wore a thin gray coat over black trousers and low heels. Her hair was loosely tied back, but a trace of lipstick from earlier in the day still lingered on her lips. When she sat down, her eyes dropped to the floor. This time, though, she wasn't fidgeting with the strap of her bag. Her hands rested on her knees, slowly rubbing her thumb. It was the kind of movement that meant words were on their way.
Welcome, Noah. Since last week, how have you been?
When you asked, I almost said, I'm fine. But I think being honest is better today. I'm not doing so well.
Why is that?
One evening, I was in the kitchen making dinner. He was in the living room. The TV was on. I reached up to get a plate from the cupboard. At that moment, his phone rang on the table. A name appeared on the screen, one I didn't recognize. The phone stopped ringing. Then he came into the kitchen, but he didn't look at me. He just picked up his phone and went back, without a word. As if I wasn't even there.
What went through your mind in that moment?
My first thought wasn't, who called? It was, again? And I realized I'd long stopped counting how many times he'd passed me without looking at me. It's as if I'm a piece of furniture in this house. Something with a set place, but whose presence is unnoticed.
How does that affect you?
Not being acknowledged. It's like being erased, piece by piece, every day. You see yourself in the mirror, but you know you're invisible in someone else's eyes. That day, the plate stayed in my hand. I forgot to put it down. I looked at it and thought, he probably looks at this plate more than he looks at me.
When Noah said this, her voice carried neither anger nor bitterness. It was more the calm of naming something for what it was. But beneath that calm, the weight of exhaustion remained.
And what does that feeling tell you?
Speak up or leave. But don't stay like this. Because this way, it's slowly dissolving me. Every day, a little less of me remains.
Have you thought about speaking up?
Yes, but I don't know which words to start with. If I say, you don't see me, he'll probably get defensive. If I say, do you love me? I'm afraid of knowing the answer. Sometimes silence feels safer than hearing the truth.
What do you think it would take to break this silence?
Courage, and maybe caring a little less. Because I still care too much about what he thinks, how he'll react, even the expression on his face at that moment. All of that still gets to me.
Something flickered in Noah's eyes then, the kind of glimmer that appears when a decision is slowly taking shape.
And where will you find that courage?
Maybe I've realized I shouldn't be afraid of being alone. I should be afraid of living like this. And for the first time, I think I'll choose myself.
How does it feel to choose yourself?
Strange. But there's also a small sense of relief, like a heavy weight has shifted just a little. Still, it feels like the calm before a storm. I know I'll have to speak up soon.
At the end of the session, Noah put on her coat. This time, she didn't wrap her arms around herself. As she walked to the door, there was still hesitation in her steps, but hidden within that hesitation was a plan. Maybe the next time she came back, she wouldn't just be someone who told her story. She'd be someone who acted.
These stories are fictional, but the emotions they stir might be real. See you in the next one.